Hello, and welcome. My name is Coach Jimmy, and hopefully we can share this video. I'm going to see if I can do this here, if I can figure out how to share this into the event that I have running today. So hopefully this is seen by everybody. If not, I know I have friends and people that are going to be willing to share this into the event page. It wouldn't let me go live inside the event tonight. What's up, Robin Mondor? If you guys can click the share button, if you can share it into the event that's on my page, people that RSVP to that, I really would appreciate that tonight because for some reason I am not showing a share option on my side. But I just want to really thank you for hanging out tonight. My name is Coach Jimmy, or people call me Coach Jimmy. My name is Jimmy Hayes Nelson. I'm coming to you live from Dallas, Texas, from my home office here in my home. Right outside of Highland Park, if you know the Dallas area at all. And I just wanted to hang out a little bit tonight and share a few stories with you and talk about literally, how I got where we are today. And maybe you don't know me at all. Maybe you've been invited to this hangout from somebody else and you're like, I don't even know I'm on this, dude. Or maybe you know me from things like the Insanity DVDs, or maybe if you see up a little higher, there's Shalene's foot from the Pio DVDs. Before doing anything in fitness, I was a 3-time college dropout. I was a kid that came from a broken home, heavy my entire life, probably from about the age of 6, was always the heaviest kid in my class. And I got really good at quitting a lot of stuff. You name it, I quit it. Taekwondo, drawing, guitar, golf, what else? Saxophone, clarinet, soccer, anytime something got tough, I quit. I was really great at starting things. I don't know if you're like that at all, but you get really excited about new things when it comes to follow through and finishing up things. Yeah, not really my strength. I see hearts, so I feel like I'm the only quitter in the group. But I wanted to go to college because I really had this burning desire to be a performer. I fell in love with acting kind of my senior year of high school, and it was something that I wanted to do. I felt like I was designed to be in front of people, but the problem with that is when you're designed to be in front of people and you hate the body that you're in, there can be a bit of conflict there. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way. I don't know if you've ever felt that you were meant to do something more than what you're currently doing. But there seems to be a lot of reasons in your life that you can't get there, that maybe financially you feel like it's keeping you apart, or gosh, Jimmy, I would love to live a life of my purpose, but you don't understand, like I'm super busy. I work 40 hours or 60 hours a week, or, I have an unsupportive spouse that just doesn't understand that I'm unhappy, or, I have a litter of children, plus, a stressful spouse, plus I work 40 hours, or maybe I'm in school, or maybe in the military. I don't know. There's some reason that you've told yourself that success and just to live a life that you're passionate about, that you're excited about, ultimately wasn't in the cards for you. And I understand that because I was the exact same way. I felt like success was for other people, that those people living the life and having time of their own and to do what they wanted to do. I mean, it was obviously possible because there were people that were doing it, but it wasn't for real people, regular people like myself. And that's really what I felt. And that was the story that I had told myself. It was a story that I completely believed. And, I went in and I tried to follow the rules. That's where I got so frustrated, is I was doing the things I was supposed to do. Take out student loans, go to school, show up, get a job, work hard, and you will be rewarded. Yet again and again and again, I continue to fall short of being rewarded. Work hard, be the hardest worker at jobs, but I'm not getting a raise, or pass up for a promotion, or continue to get in debt. All this student loan packing up, and I didn't even finish school. I ended up quitting 3 times, and I had all these reasons why other people were having more success in school and why the deck was stacked against me. And I really didn't realize it in the middle of it because all this seemed very legit. It seemed justified to me. And what I found is I really had a victim mentality. And I was really good at pointing fingers at other people and saying, oh, well, if they would this and this person would that and my parents were this and my family was that, then I would be successful. And what I was lacking to do is where I was in my life at that time was 100% my fault. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people really have a hard time literally saying where I am today in my life, financially, in relationships, anything else, is 100% my fault. We want to say, yeah, but if she would have this, or if the boss would have that, or if my teacher would have this, or had I, won the state championship in football in high school, my life would have taken a different turn. But you didn't, right? You didn't. You are where you are today because of a bunch of tiny little choices you made. It's not one big epic choice. It wasn't some thunderclap moment. We are a combination of all the little tiny, what seems at the time, minute choices, insignificant, stupid choices we make, positive and negative, throughout our lives. And the reason I am where I am today, losing 100 pounds, keeping it off over 10 years, going from 3-time college dropout with $60,000 in debt to living financially free. My time is my own. I work from home. I get to be where I want, when I want, with who I want, doing what I want. So number one, I tell you that where I came from to where I am, because if it's possible for me, it's possible for anybody. How, with the caveat of you're willing to do the work. What I'm about to share with you, what I'm about to talk to you, is not a overnight sensation. Yep, I'm an overnight sensation 10 years in the making. And that may seem like a long time to you. But I know 10 years has gone by like this, 40 this year. So from the decade of my 30s has been this kind of grind, this, willing to be kind of the tortoise, the slow and steady wins the race, to show up every day. Even though, even today, there's times I show up and I'm like, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I know that the journey is so much more magical than the destination, right? Like the journey, how you get there is where we learn. And, after the last time I dropped out of college and I moved back in with my parents and I'm 100 pounds overweight and a 3-time college dropout, and I've totally let go of the dream of being a performer, and I'm working multiple jobs, driving an hour and a half to commute to these jobs as a bank teller. I'm working at video stores and just little extra jobs. And one of my jobs was bartending at night. And literally was just like, I had settled. I was like, this is life. This is it. I mean, I'm just trying to get by. Just scrape enough money together to, pay my cell phone bill. To even the time I wasn't even paying rent. I was living with my parents. And, that's super humbling. Try dating in your 20s and saying, hey, you want to come back to my folks' house? Like that doesn't really work. But, there was a time I remember like it was yesterday, I stepped out of the shower one day, and you don't spend a lot of time in front of the mirror when you're 100 pounds overweight. But that day I did. And I just looked at myself and I was like, Jimmy, what are you doing? Like, if you don't change, you're going to be alone the rest of your life. This is life unless you're willing to fight for something different. And up to that point, I wasn't willing to fight for something different. I was willing to point fingers. Well, my acting career wasn't here because of XYZ. Finances didn't work out because of this person, this person, this person. If I had gotten this other scholarship that this person that didn't really deserve it got in school, I would be someplace different. Right? But in that moment, early 20s, 100 pounds overweight, moving back with my parents, looking in the mirror, and I'm like, are you willing to fight for something beyond this, or is this life? Are you willing to just settle and this be life? And I got, I think when you hear motivation stories or life-changing stories, we think they always come from this really noble spot, this really positive energy. And mine didn't. It came from being pissed. I got tired of being a victim. I got tired of continuing to get kicked in the face by life. I got tired of doing what other people told me I was supposed to be doing, following the rules of society, and I had exactly probably what I deserved to show for it. I did what 90% of the people say to do. Get the student loan, go to school, get this job, work your way up. And the system's a lie. You know, like how many people do you know that leave college with a 4-year degree, all this student debt, this 4-year degree, and can't get a job? So they go back and get their master's. They still can't get a job, right? And so they just continue to feed the system. And I'm not saying like college is the worst thing, but for me, it didn't work, right? I wasn't promised the thing on the other end. And so in that moment, in the mirror, in that thing, there wasn't some big lightning bolt. I wasn't motivated every day the rest of my life. But I was willing to be open-minded enough to at least listen to some things that may not be the norm, may be a little different. And I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And all I'm going to ask you to do is I share the things with you, where I went to how I got to where I am now, that you be at least a little open-minded. And we all have certain prejudices or certain belief systems that literally, again, are just an accumulation of what's happened to us to this point in our life, right? We have certain belief systems about, oh, this works, that doesn't, this is good, this is bad, trust these people, don't trust these people, whatever. And all it does, it either comes from experience we have or the beliefs of the people before us. You know, like our parents said this, therefore we like. I think I had a really messed up relationship with money because all I ever heard growing up was we're in debt, we can't afford it. Like it was always this like stress was involved with money to me. So that's all I knew. So in that moment, in the mirror, I at least am like open to doing something different. Nothing's changed. I'm still working my multiple jobs. Life still sucks. But I'm like, what can I do with what I have now? Right? And so on the weight loss side, on the health side, you know, I just start like walking around the block or riding my bike or whatever I can do. But it wasn't long after that a guy that I was working with, actually, I saw losing some weight. And, you know, we guys, sometimes it's hard for us to ask another dude like, hey, what are you doing when we see success in it? Because we're guys and we're full of ego and testosterone. But I did. I finally asked my buddy what he was doing. And the minute he told me he was doing a DVD series, I told him no. Like, get this. And I just told you I was open to looking at things a new way. I was desperate for change. I saw somebody changing. And the minute he told me what it was, I said no. And you have an opportunity as we sit here and talk and I start kind of explaining how it is what I do. You can be me. I wasted time judging something I still didn't understand before we even had a chance to explain it to me. I was like, oh, DVDs, don't do that. That's chick stuff. I'm not working out at home. I'm going to continue to do what I'd done, which was grab a Men's Health magazine, wander around a gym, super self-conscious, not knowing how to use any of the equipment. And I always find that funny that there are people that come to us and say, Jimmy, I want to change. I want to create a life of freedom. I want to do this. And the minute you ask them to do something different than what they've done to that point, the answer is no. But think about that. If all we're willing to do is what we've done to that point, that's why we are where we are right now at that point, is because we've done what we've done before. Like, follow me here. Like, if you've only done certain things and you're in this point of your life that you're dissatisfied some way, physically, financially, in your relationships, in your energy level, I don't know why, there's something in your life you're dissatisfied about. And you see somebody, you're like, gosh, I wish my life was like theirs. Or maybe not even that, just like, hey, there's something different about that person. Maybe it was the person that invited you to this webinar, this Facebook Live tonight. And so you're seeking an answer. But if the answer doesn't live in this little bubble that is your current reality, you say no. But doesn't it make sense that the answer is going to live outside of whatever your reality is now, and to have an open mind enough to say, I don't necessarily understand how that works, but that's okay, and I'm going to learn. If they can learn, I can learn. You know, there was a time you didn't know how to use Facebook, right? So second nature now. Anybody remember like when you first got when you first got on Facebook and you were just lost? You were like, how does this work? That's how most people are now, like on Snapchat or something, right? It's like, how does this work? But now, Facebook's such like a second part of your life, you probably have to sit here and think for a minute what life was like before you had a Facebook page. What did you do? There was a time also you didn't know how to drive a car, right? And let's think of how complicated that is. Like if you really sit down and think about the complication of the car of, okay, I got to balance the pedal and steer and a radio's on and there's other drivers around me. Like when you first learn to drive, it's stressful as all get out. And now you're probably on Facebook while you're in the car now. Like it's become so second nature. So I use that example as there's something that's new to everybody. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to, there's a learning curve, right? You have to be willing, again, I'm going to go back to being open to some things. And initially, just the fitness aspect of this, I wasn't open to. But I kept watching and I kept getting the same results. And again, I had to check myself and say, why is this not working? He's still seeing results, I'm not. He's offered me something to do and I said no. So I revisited, and thank God I did. And he introduced me to a workout program called Power 90. You probably know its sequel, P90X. I was introduced to Tony Horton, and I was introduced to 2 DVDs that I would stick into my DVD player and do from my living room every morning. And something magic kind of happened. Just within the first 2 weeks, I saw results that I hadn't seen ever. And not only was it like I felt better and, my pants started getting a little loose, I was excited about something for the first time in my life and forever. Because at the time, I realized I was probably in a bit of a depression because I had nothing to look forward to every day. It was just the next day. It was the same day over and over, Groundhog's Day. And once I had something to kind of work on me, I had a project, I had a mission, something to look forward to, something to challenge myself with. Like something came alive in me. Like I became this different animal. And so as I made little changes, I was like, cool, this little change yielded this result. What else can I add? So I'd add one other little change. Maybe I follow the eating plan a little better. A little more. Well, what if I put a little more intensity into my workouts instead of just kind of getting through it? What if I really went all in that? A little more. So every day it was like, how can I add 1 degree of something to what I've already built? None of this happening overnight. No magic pill. It wasn't like I woke up and, I'm buying a new wardrobe. It literally was something that I did a little something, saw a little something, added something different. Did a couple rounds of Power 90. About that time, P90X, which I'm sure you know, came out. And I was one of the very first people I ever knew to do P90X. And I remember seeing the first videos for it. There was no infomercial. There was no it wasn't on YouTube. There was no before and after. There wasn't testimonies or success stories or anything yet. I just saw that black logo and the X, and I was like, if Tony did it, if this is what he did that's new, I need to do this. This scares the hell out of me. And I was awful at it. So awful. Couldn't do any pull-ups at first. Yoga was just a bunch of falling over. Plyometrics, I literally puked. And for a guy that had quit everything once it was hard before, I don't know why, but I didn't quit. And like I said, a new animal was born in me. Well, that and one other piece. And about that time, I got plugged into an online community of other people doing the same program. And all of a sudden, I wasn't in this battle by myself anymore. Because I would have good days and bad days and motivated days and days I didn't feel like it. I was trying to get up at 6 a.m. and do this workout. I didn't feel like that every day. And there were days I missed or a couple days I'd miss. But all I knew is this little online community cared about my results as much as I did. Believed in me way more than I believed in myself. And at some point it became just as much about doing it for me as not letting them down. And it's funny because sometimes we will do things for other people more so than we will do it for ourselves. We will do things for other people in order to not let them down or disappoint them more so than sometimes any benefit it's us. You will do things for your kids that maybe you won't do for yourself. You do something for your spouse or your parent or your sibling. You'd sacrifice something. You'd work a little harder. You'd stay up a little late. You'd sacrifice some sleep that you may or may not do if you were the only beneficiary, right? And that's what this became. Well, not long after that, I had a friend that I had met in this community that reached out and said, hey, and by this point, I had really good results. Like I said, I'd lost 100 pounds using these programs. And not only lost the weight, but doing P90X, started putting like muscle on that I didn't know. Nobody in my family was fit. So I didn't know that was even possible in my genetic code to have, muscle. And she reached out and said, hey, Beachbody is launching kind of a new branch that's called being a Beachbody coach. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a trainer. At the time I was still struggling actor, juggling different jobs. She's like, oh, no. You don't have to be a trainer. You don't have to get any kind of certifications. She's like, hell, you don't even have to be super fit, because I was still in the middle of my journey, right? I still didn't see me as fit, even though I really was having amazing results. I think mentally I still saw a lot of that fat kid and was still super self-conscious about it. Other people always notice our results way faster than we do, right? And people see us in a different light than we see ourselves sometimes. And I was like, well, I don't know. She's like, well, you can actually get paid to refer other people to these programs. And I'm like, ah. She's like, do you talk about them ever to anybody else? I was like, well, yeah. She's like, look. She said, if nothing else, you get a 25% discount on any other product. So every new program that comes out or supplement or all the things you're already using, would it just be helpful? Do you think that you would be more likely to continue using this, to not fall off the wagon, to make this a lifestyle change, if you could get your supplements and your programs and stuff at a more affordable cost? I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. That made sense to me, and having a different level to be plugged into this community that had played such a big role in my results at that point. I didn't want any barrier between me and these people that I met online. I was like, wherever you guys go, I'm going, because I need you. Because if my support system goes away, I'm going to go back to being that guy that I was. I'm going to quit somewhere along the way. Even though I had those results, I knew that I would revert if I didn't continue to surround myself with some kind of support, somebody else to champion me. And I found as I championed others, even in the midst of my own fitness journey, I was more likely to stick around. And so 10 years ago, I signed up to be a teen Beachbody coach, having no idea what that meant. Knowing there was a business side and knowing there was a way that you could make income, but not thinking, that's not going to be for me, because my belief system was still success was for other people, especially when it came to finances or career. But I was like, I talked about, like, we are the result of a bunch of little choices we made. That choice at the time didn't feel life-changing to me. Didn't feel like, I'm sitting on an epic decision that will change my life, the life of my generations after me, that will deliver me from debt, that will make my life my own. All I knew is it was right before I turned 30, so I was 29 years old and just in a bunch of debt and just lost in life and not sure what the hell I was doing. But this seemed like one little positive thing to add. But I didn't think it was the answer. And I didn't think, well, what if I'm not good at it? Or what if I fail with this? I never hesitated about, well, what if on a negative side? Because I just thought, well, if nothing else, if I get my supplements and these programs easier financially, and I'm surrounded even more by this support system that's helped me like myself more, I'm in. If this is nothing more than that, I'm in. Now, something did change. For the first year and a half, that's all this was for me. There were some events. I was like, oh, as a coach, I can go to an event. I can work out with Tony Horton. The first time I met Shaun T and Chalene Johnson was at events that I only could get access to because I was a coach, right? I didn't see myself as an authority. I didn't see myself as an expert. I still felt like I struggled in so many areas, like who was I to coach somebody else? But the other thing that this community introduced me to was personal development and helped me like change my mindset. But for once in my life, I didn't quit. I just stuck around, was willing to continue to learn, was willing to continue to seek things out and try to understand more. And as that happened, a snowball effect took place. I started reaching out and really helping other people. And then I learned that the only way you make money in this business is if you literally help other people and get them really tangible results. Is that the job starts when somebody decides to get started. It's not like advertise something, they get started, you're on your own. I tell people when you join our team, which we call the crew, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Regardless if that's the business side, the fitness side, just the support. I need morale. I need something positive to surround me, even if it's virtually. You're not by yourself. And maybe right now you feel like you were meant to do something besides what your reality is. And you didn't know what that was. Like I meant in some way to do something great with my life. But to this point, I don't feel I'm that way. Maybe you have a really great financially paying job, but you don't feel any significance in it. You're like, well, yeah, we pay the bills. Yeah, we're getting by. But I don't wake up every morning excited about what I do. And maybe that concept seems so foreign to you. You're like, wait, there's really people that wake up in the morning excited? That's not just I got to go do a job? Yes, that exists because I live it every day. I wake up excited about what I get to do in the day. I wake up excited about the people that I get to invest in, the calls that I had today. There's some of those people right here on this Facebook Live right now that I get to sit and have calls with today and invest in and become friends that, that just become my second family. And I can't put a price tag on that. I can't put a price tag on my time being completely my own. That I get to be where I want to be, when I want to be, wherever. That I can work anywhere as long as I have my phone. I can go on vacation. I can sit on a beach. I can wherever. I get to choose when and where I work. And the fact that I started all this with a really busy schedule, juggling multiple jobs, it was something I could do as a side hustle with a little spare time. And I read a quote the other day, or heard a quote the other day, that people are where they are today because of what they do in their spare time. No matter how little that spare time is. Those 3 episodes on Netflix add up, right? Just watching the game or playing the Xbox or online shopping mindlessly or watching cat videos. You may think you're the busiest person you know. Number one, you're not. And yes, there's little pieces, little hidden minutes of time that you plug in with us and we teach you our training method. We'll teach you how to utilize those little extra minutes of time, using this, impacting people's lives and making a real change and feeling significance. So you have a choice to make. You can say, okay, Jimmy, I'll buy it. I at least want to know some more. I want to know more about what this is. How does it work? And somebody invited you to this call tonight. Somebody thought enough of you to think, you know what? I think they'd be good at this. Or I think this would help them because of a situation they've shared with me. Or maybe they just like you because they would love to do something with you to build something of significance. I feel like myself included, we all want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, right? We want to be a part of bigger than stuff. We want to leave a legacy. We want to do something that has an impact. And this is an opportunity to do that. You know, maybe you never thought of yourself as a business owner, or maybe you did. Maybe you're like, God, I would love to have my own business, an online business, something I could do from anywhere. Here's an opportunity. And God knows it's a lot cheaper than going to the bank and asking for a business loan that you got to pay back and We offer a 30-day money-back guarantee just to work with our team and see if this is for you. Why do we do that? Because we only want people working with us that really want to be there. We're not trying to talk anybody into anything or convince people or handle objections. I want people that hear this message and go, and something sparks in their gut and says, yes, that's what I want for my life. That I don't understand how it all works, but I'm willing to take a start. I'm willing to take a step to get started, plug in and learn. That's who I'm looking for. That's who will get my time all day long. I'm tired of settling. I'm tired of living the same day after day. I want to step out. I want to do something different, to have something different. I want to be open-minded, to live a different way. I want to do what others won't today, to have what others won't tomorrow. So, this is your step. Somebody invited you to this call. And they're going to follow up with you. But you know what? Be actually even super more legit if you reached out to them as soon as we wrap up. And number one, if nothing else, say thank you. Thank you that you even thought of me. And then you're going to tell them one of two things. You're going to tell them if you're a 1, a 2, or a 3. A number 1 is that person I just described. Jimmy, I don't understand it all. I don't know if I can do this. I'm not a business person. I have a lot of doubts about this. But even if there's a sliver of a chance that this would work for me and change my life, to give me something significant to work on that can give me back some time, that can help me impact other people's lives as I improve my own health and fitness and live a healthy, fulfilling life, then yes, I want to know more about this. You're a number 1. Number 2 is somebody that you say, Jimmy, this sounds great. Your team sounds great. I love that you have all these aspects. I'm not sure about the business part right now. I'm just a little iffy about that. But when you talk about at least taking control of your own health and fitness to be better for me and my family and the people that I care about, that I know that I can be better for those that I love if I take better care of myself, I want to learn more. What's the program? What's the program that you can do and stream from your phone? What's the simple meal plan and the supplement you can take that helped me lose 100 pounds? And there's so many stories on our team of people that I can tell you that just had those extra 10 pounds to lose, or they had high blood pressure, or like myself and some others on our team have lost 100 pounds. Anywhere on that fitness journey, you're like, that's what I want to focus on. You're a number 2. And a number 3 is just you're that person that you sat through this. You're really appreciative that somebody thought of you enough to offer this. But you're just like, not right now. Thank you. I appreciate it. Understand why you invited me. Not right now. And that's okay. This isn't for everybody, and right now isn't the time for everybody. We can only work with so many. And if you are a number 3, would you just do us a favor? That person reaches out to you when you have that follow-up conversation. If you know anybody that you're like, man, this isn't for me right now, but I know somebody you need to talk to, we'd so appreciate that, because we're just looking for people that we can help, that need what we offer. So I really appreciate you spending the time with me tonight. I would love to know more about you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me here on my Facebook page in the comments. I'll be around. But please get back to the person that invited you to this. Let them know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. Have a great night, and here's to your future. Take care.